And so ends the first season of Black Lightning. Greetings everyone, welcome to The Ride Back, the show where we drive around and talk about a show we just watched. So I just finished up the first season finale of Black Lightning, meaning it's the last episode of season 1, which is unique because this is the first time that I have done both the first episode and the season finale of a single season. So when I originally watched the first episode of Black Lightning, I talked about how it seemed different and a little edgy, a little bit more real, you know, and I don't know if it's connected to the Arrowverse, but it might be. Now, that first episode was really powerful to me. And now we're at the tail end of the first season. So has it changed? Has it developed? Has it fallen into a few tropes? The answer is yes and no. The show, I still think, is really good. It's a different approach, but it still falls under the same WB tropes that we've gotten from a lot of different superhero shows. And what I mean by that is, throughout the season, Jefferson Pierce, aka Black Lightning, has returned, and not only has he been fighting crime, but his two daughters have both developed powers, one of which has been embracing it, and she's been calling herself Thunder. And the other, I can't think of all their names, I'm sorry, but she has developed powers but doesn't want them. So I do love the dynamic between those two and how they're approaching these metahuman powers in different ways. So there's that. They have Peter Gamby, I believe is his name, and he has been kind of the mentor slash tech guy, because he's got a history, we find out later on, he's got a history with like this, I don't want to call them the mob, but they're not the mob. But the whole, they kind of go back and forth between storylines, and they kind of diverge and then converge all together. Like, it started off with a guy named Lala, who was just kind of a low-level street thug kind of guy, and that kind of moves into something called Green Light, which is some sort of, it's a drug, but it gives you special powers for a brief time. And then it goes back even further, where they're talking about how Black Lightning's father exposed this, and that's what he got killed for it. So yeah, all of it, and then it comes down to these guys want to develop more humans, basically the super soldier program. They want to develop super soldiers to sell to armies and whatnot. And they've got whole pods of these kids who are their test subjects. So yeah, it kind of goes back and forth. And there's another character who comes back who he was paralyzed in a peaceful protest because I want to say it was Tobias Whale, who's the main villain, shoots him. Yeah, pretty sure. It was either him or one of his guys. Shoots this kid, and then they blame it on Black Lightning, but he comes back after some sort of spine surgery that Tobias Whale pays for in order to fight against Black Lightning, and he's shooting darts. He's shooting darts out of his hands and whatnot, or out of his wrist. I don't know. But ultimately, this isn't so much a discussion about what I felt about the final episode, which I did enjoy. It leaves you kind of hanging. Black Lightning isn't even in it for most of it. He's been knocked out during the last episode, he got Superman punched. Not by Superman, but he got, Superman punched. And he kind of got knocked out, and they thought he was going to die. And that's when his youngest daughter, brought him back, kind of shocked him back to life. So she might be starting to like her powers, but the Pierce family, as well as Peter Gamby, they all hide in this cabin, and they're making their final stand there, and they didn't anticipate, that is to say the bad guys didn't anticipate a couple of things. One, the Black Lightning survived. They thought they killed him. And two, that both of his daughters are metahumans. So after all is said and done, what did I think about Black Lightning Season 1? All right, well, I guess the best way to talk about that is to think on how it started off. And it started off with basically a superhero plot with almost a civil rights perspective. And I felt like that was a really powerful thing, and I really enjoyed that. But then they kind of fell back into standard superhero TV show tropes. Not that that was a bad thing. It's just it's been done before. So I kind of wanted them to focus more on that. And they did. Actually, they did do it on a time or two. There was one episode where they were trying to expose Mr. Pierce as Black Lightning, and they had crooked cops. So they purposely they arrested him on a phony drug charge where they're planting evidence on him, and this is this really happens. This sort of racial profiling on African Americans happens often. And I know I'm just a white guy talking about it, but they just shed a light on it, which is good. Make people see that people can understand what's really happening in some areas. But episodes like that I thought were really powerful stuff. And he doesn't break. He didn't do anything wrong. He doesn't soup up his powers and zap his way out. And they treated him I almost cussed there. They treated him like garbage. It was an episode that really ticked me off. But that was a really good episode. It was a really powerful episode. But then they kind of fall back, and it's just kind of more superhero-y stuff, which is fine. It's what I like. It's not my favorite. Ultimately, that's the question. Is it my favorite DC or even favorite superhero show? No. I'm sorry, it's just not. In my opinion, right now at least, DC's Legends of Tomorrow is my favorite, followed by The Flash. Now, I still think it's better than Arrow. And once again, it's not like I'm taking anything away. It's just that Arrow has been on for such a long time. I'm rambling. I'm starting to shift gears and start talking about other stuff. So, would I recommend watching Black Lightning? I am looking forward to the second season of Black Lightning, especially on how it ended, because Black Lightning, how it ended was, first of all, they don't arrest Tobias Whale. They just kind of take down the shady organization that was trying to create metahumans. And they still have Tobias Whale in it. So, we'll definitely look forward to seeing in the next one. But that's the end of that episode. I'm coming up on my stop, and I will see you guys in the next one. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and please take a minute to like, comment, and subscribe for more super videos.